Hello everybody and welcome back to GameRant.com. I'm Anthony Taormina, editor-in-chief of the website. It's mailbag time. Alright, so in the previous mailbag we took a look at the ASUS ROG Strix Scar, which was kind of the flagship gaming laptop from ASUS. This is another one of ASUS's gaming laptops. This is a little lower end model. It's one that I'm very excited to take a look at. We're going to try not to dox myself as per usual. It's taped up like no other, so we're gonna crack this open. There will be a full review of the laptop on GameRant.com. You can't even see, well, you can see me, but I'm out of focus. So if you're curious about performance and all that jazz, this is just our unboxing. It's a hefty boy. All right, so this is the ROG Strix G18. So this is another one of ASUS's 2025 models. Got the 50 series laptop GPU in here. Specs wise on this model, so it comes with an 18-inch screen. It's 2.5K. It uses the ROG Nebula display. It has an Intel Core Ultra i9-275HX. It's got a 2 terabyte hard drive. Supports Wi-Fi 7, and we'll take a look at all the I/O and the ports like that. But this is the ASUS ROG Strix G18. All right, let's crack it open and take a look at this bad boy. Oh boy, grand reveal. There we go. All right, grand reveal. Oh, it kind of pops out there. All right, this is we got a big boy. Nice. All right, so got the Strix G18 laptop. Box also comes with some documentation, and then in here we've got power cable, power brick, and adapter, and that's all we got in there. What's it showing here? Some of the design elements. So you got full surround RGB, so lighting from below. If you remember from the Strix Scar, same idea. There was some RGB that would like illuminate your desktop surface. You got intelligent cooling. One of the cool things for ASUS's gaming laptops, at least as far as this G18 and the Strix Scar were concerned, toolless access. So upgrading your gaming laptops is as easy as you can imagine. You just pop it open and you can get into your components. You can upgrade your RAM. You can upgrade your memory with compatible components. So that's something that's really cool for the ASUS lines this year. And I mean, pretty awesome in general. I hope they continue to do that. All right, there'll be a little bit of a reflection, but here's your power brick. Here's your kind of specs on it, just in case you're curious. 380 watts, and then your power cable plugs into your brick. Is anybody really curious about that stuff? Hard to say. And then in your documentation, you get warranty information, a little bit of like general information as well. Not a ton of stuff. These days, we're going as paperless as we can. And then here's the laptop covered in plastic. We will remove that. There she is. This is the ASUS ROG G18. Strix G18 to be specific. So you've got the ASUS slick little logo on the front, and then on the back you've got your ventilation. It says ROG Strix. So you've got a little bit of a step there at the bottom for the cooling, so that you get a little bit of a raised surface. And then you've got plenty of ventilation in the back. It also says Republic of Gamers. For those that maybe don't know, that's what the ROG stands for. Lots of ventilation. With these 50 series GPUs, you're gonna need some cooling, but this is it's a big boy. It's a 18-inch laptop. So okay, you got your little nice mat there. You got a full keyboard, which is very nice, with some slightly translucent keys. So not just WASD, but the Q, the E, the R, the F, they're slightly translucent. And the spacebar is slightly translucent. You have Copilot key, which is kind of one of the newer features on gaming laptops. And yeah, full numpad. You know, when you get an 18-inch, you're usually hoping for as much of a full keyboard as you can get, and you got a full complement there. You've got function keys, one controls Aura, controls your fans. You've got like do not disturb or sleep, what have you. And then you've got some macros for muting mic and volume, and then you could probably program those for additional stuff. So to give you a sense of the screen, how thin this screen is relative to the body or the chassis, whatever you want to call it. And then also, you got a little bit of information. I don't know spec-wise fully what's in here, so we're gonna boot it up just to take a look. So I/O, so you got from the back of the laptop to the front, you've got the power adapter connection, you've got the gigabit Ethernet cable, you've got an HDMI 2.1 port, you've got a USB 3.2 USB-A port, you get two USB 4 ports that also support DisplayPort. I know you're probably thinking, where's my DisplayPort? That goes through those USB-Cs, and then you've got two more on this side, USB-A 3.2 ports. So a good amount of I/O. You know, you can connect your peripherals, you can connect your docks and whatnot. I mean, you're pretty much set. I don't necessarily feel like you need a dock. This is a workstation in and of itself, but let's turn it on. So there's RGB to those translucent keys, and then there's RGB around the, just to show you, there's RGB around the rims of the keys, but then those translucent keys, they give you a little RGB. So you get a little, you know, you get a little customization there. And then also, I don't know how much it'll play in the daylight, but the RGB coming off the bottom of the laptop, you can kind of see it goes around the rim and it will reflect off your surface, your desktop surface. All right, so we don't need to activate Windows just yet, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we've got NVIDIA set up so we can get some specs. Got a nice, you know, big trackpad. Those are the things you want out of an 18-inch laptop. You want a big trackpad, you want nice keys. We'll do a little bit of messing around with typing as well. All right, let's look at the system. My rig. Okay, what do we got in here? So we've got the Intel Core Ultra 9 275HX. We've got 35 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs, and then we've got a 2 terabyte SSD in there. And then for this particular model, it comes with the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080 laptop GPU. I'm going to talk about it till I'm blue in the face. Multi-frame generation is the secret sauce of the 50 series. I know people are, you know, looking at the raw performance leap from 40 series to 50 series, but I think multi-frame generation, being able to use that DLSS 4 override for games is a huge game changer. It makes a lot of difference. You don't feel like you need like the kind of top spec to just be able to brute force it. It is AI based, and so, you know, your feelings about the AI based frame generation are going to vary, but from my perspective, it gives you the performance and it gives you the visuals that you're looking for from the game. And what also is cool about the 50 series, at least as far as I'm concerned, is that ability to go into NVIDIA and override things. And even if the game doesn't support the new technology, you can say, hey, use the latest technology. Some of the information about the screen, which I'll talk about in the review, but it is 240 Hertz. So you want to get that as high a frame rate as possible, and the multi-frame generation combined with the 50 series is going to be able to get you that. Let's do a little typing test. Let's do a little typey. There's like a little, feels like there's like a slight concave to the keys. They feel good. There's a good amount of space in them. They're not crowded. Obviously, WASD feels good. The big beefy trackpad is nice. It's just a nice little stylistic touch, the translucent keys and having the RGB. So you can go into Razer's like Armory Crate, and you can go in there and customize different things. So you're gonna go into here and you're gonna go to like your Aura Sync, and you'll be able to set different lighting. You'll be able to customize the translucent keys and then your rim lighting and then the rims of the keys. So there's a lot of customization there. And then there is a quick function access there, and you can set different fan profiles when it's plugged in, when it's on battery. That's all the beauty of having a gaming laptop, is that you can set the different scenarios for how much performance you want to get versus battery life. All right, so some other highlights. Battery life, you're getting a 90 watt hour battery in here. The other thing that I did want to talk about for those that maybe are curious about the chip inside, it is the Intel Core Ultra 9 processor, 275HX. It's 2.7 gigahertz. It's got a 36 megabyte cache, up to 5.4 gigahertz, 24 cores, 24 threads. It's one of the AI focused new chips, so that's why Copilot, or it has the Copilot button. So it's gonna be efficient and also working towards giving you the best performance out of the gaming laptop. Display, you're looking at an 18-inch 2.5K, so 2560 by 1600, 1610 aspect ratio. It's IPS, anti-glare, 30 milliseconds of response time, Pantone validated. It supports Dolby Vision and HDR. So it's got all the things you could want out of the screen itself. And then they call this the backlit chiclet keyboard 4-zone RGB. That's cool. You get a 1080p full HD camera, and then you can get different configurations for the G18. So you can get up to a 5080. This particular model has a 5080, but you can also get less expensive models that either have a 5070 or a 5060, different configurations of RAM or storage space. So you have some different options there. You can check them all out on asus.com and see which one works for you. But this is the one we're going to be testing with the 5080. 32 gigabytes of RAM and that Intel 9 processor. Very cool. You know, I think first impressions, the translucent keys really stand out on this, on the SCAR. What I thought was really cool was on the trackpad, you could put the numpad there. This has the full numpad here. But stylistically, I like having the rim lighting on the RGB, which you can totally turn off if you don't want people to know. There's not, outside of that ASUS logo, anybody that doesn't know the ASUS logo, they won't know that you're on a gaming laptop. So you can maybe take this around. It is hefty. It's not particularly light, but it's not extremely heavy. It is an 18-inch laptop, so a lot of people are just getting this to replace their desktops. But very cool. Excited to take a closer look at this, do some performance benchmarking, use it day to day and see how I feel about it. But this was the initial unboxing for Game Rant Mailbag. And thank you so much to ASUS for sending this in and letting us feature it in today's Game Rant Mailbag. And thank you for watching today's Game Rant Mailbag. I've been Anthony Taormina. Have a great rest of your day.